Hey guys, it's Tima. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a braces update. I'm so excited to be recording this video and sharing my braces journey with you all. I got braces in January of this year, so it's been about 8 months since I've been wearing my braces. And I kind of wanted to just do a video sharing my braces experience, especially having braces as an adult. So if you're someone who's planning on getting braces in the near future, or you may already have braces and you're new into your journey, you may be doing what I did, researching and just looking to hear someone else's experience having braces. So I'm going to be talking about my journey leading up to getting braces, elastics, power chains, extractions, and more. So if you're interested in any of these topics, just keep on watching. So first things first, let's address the elephant in the room. I am in my 30s, so I'm experiencing braces for the first time as an adult. And it took me a long time to be in a position to get braces. I've wanted braces for my entire life. I've always had excessive crowding, and when I was younger, my mother took me to get a consultation for braces, but the fact of the matter is we were not in a position financially to afford me being able to get braces. And speaking of that consultation, at the time they told me I would have to have extractions. I needed to have 2 teeth removed up top and 2 teeth on the bottom because of the crowding. They told me my mouth was too small for all of my teeth. When I knew it was time for me to get braces as an adult, honestly, I did not want to have to get my teeth removed if I didn't have to, which leads me to my first point, consultations. So finding an orthodontist was fairly easy for me. I just did a Google search, read reviews online about orthodontists in my area, and the orthodontist I chose had really great reviews, but I did consult with 2 different orthodontists and I was very pleased with the orthodontist that I chose. They told me all of the options I had. I knew I probably wouldn't be a good candidate for Invisalign, which that wasn't something that I wanted to do anyway. Because of all of the crowding I had, I knew I would probably have to get traditional braces with wires and brackets. And speaking of that, I do not have the traditional braces that requires the elastics around the brackets. I do have the Damon braces system. The difference between the Damon braces and traditional braces are the doors. So the brackets that I have little doors on them that hold the wires in place, whereas with traditional braces they have to use the ligature ties or mini rubber bands that go around the brackets to hold the wires in place. Actually, going into it, I didn't know anything about Damon braces, but that was one of the things that impressed me the most about my orthodontist. They had so many different options for me, and he explained that using the Damon braces system, I would not have to have any of my teeth extracted. And honestly, I was a little doubtful because I had so much crowding. I'll be sharing pictures with you guys in this video so you can see my teeth throughout the process. But there was extreme crowding on the top and on the bottom, but I think the bottom was the worst. I had teeth that sat back. It was just, you guys, it was bad. I needed braces. I really needed braces. I was very impressed and excited about the possibility of not having to have any extractions, and to this day I have not had any teeth extracted. When going through my treatment plan, we did discuss me possibly having to have my wisdom teeth removed. I only have my wisdom teeth up at the top. I got the 2 on the bottom removed when I was in my early 20s. So I still have the 2 up top, and the one on the right side on the top has already come in. The left side has not, and he explained that I may have to at some point have that removed, but he did not feel that I needed to have it removed in order for me to get my braces on. That was in January. I met with them. I had a consultation. We discussed payment plans. That's something that I would strongly suggest as you're having your consultations with your different orthodontists. Explore your payment options, which leads me into my preparation for getting braces. So I actually prepared for getting the braces a year ago. So in 2020, my husband and I sat down, we looked at our budget, we figured out how much we could afford to pay monthly for braces. Once we had that number in mind, I knew going into my consultation that if they were to offer me a payment plan, which most orthodontists do, it needed to be within that budget. So have a budget, have a number in mind, and see if they can work with you. And in 2020, I saw my general dentist a lot because I needed a lot of dental work. I had a few cavities that needed to be filled. So I made sure that I had all of that taken care of, because you want to make sure your teeth are healthy and strong enough to withstand the pressure that is going to be placed on your teeth when you get braces. And you don't want to have to go through the trouble of having to get a cavity filled when you have braces, because you have to go to your orthodontist, you have to get your wires removed, go to your dentist, then go back to your orthodontist and get the wires placed back in. So make sure your teeth are in a good, healthy condition, and have your finances in order going into your consultation, knowing how much you can afford to pay for your braces. And also another thing that helps to financially prepare for the braces, I opted with my employer to have a medical spending account, which allows for me to have money taken out of my paycheck throughout the year and use that for medical costs. And if you decide to do that, just make sure you do your research beforehand before you elect to have that benefit taken out of your paycheck, and make sure that orthodontics are covered in your medical spending plan. Some plans may not pay for it and some may, so make sure you look into that, because I was able to get reimbursed for my down payment, and the monthly installments that I pay for come directly from that medical spending account. It does not come out of my regular bank account, because they give you a debit card that's linked to your medical spending account. So you know, initially I had to set up my debit card because I had not received my debit card from my medical spending account yet. But once I got it, I was able to update that. So I do not have to physically go and pay for my orthodontic benefits, and it's not coming directly out of my account. It's coming out of that medical spending account that's deducted from my paycheck. Okay, so let's talk about appointments and adjustments. So in January of this year, I had my braces placed, and during that appointment, it was about maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. I think it was a 2-hour appointment, and everything went well. They polished my teeth. They placed this little, I don't know what it's called. It's like something that props your mouth open to keep your cheeks and everything open. And of course they have the little suction to keep your mouth dry. They placed this stuff on my teeth that had like a sour taste to it, and then they rinsed it out, dried everything, and then they began to place the brackets on each tooth, and then they placed the wires. And as they adjusted the wires, you know, you feel the pressure in your teeth. It was not painful getting the braces placed, but there was a lot of pressure. There was one tooth on the bottom that sat back really far. I did not have a bracket placed on that tooth. Initially, they wanted to get some movement on the teeth that were closer up front first, and I did get a round wire that's really flexible and kind of just applies just enough pressure to get your teeth moving. And I did get hooks placed on the inside of my mouth on the bottom, because initially I had a crossbite. So I had to wear a rubber band on this right side that went from the inside of the bottom of my mouth to the outside of my mouth up top. And honestly, I would have to say that that was probably the biggest adjustment, having the hooks on the inside of my teeth, because they were rubbing up against my tongue and causing a lot of discomfort at first. But after about a few weeks, it got better. And I also had bite stops, or I think they call them bite markers as well, placed on the molars on the bottom of my teeth, because I also have an overbite. And I had a really deep overbite, and to keep me from biting down and my teeth hitting the brackets on the bottom, I had to get those bite stops placed on my teeth. I felt like I could not close my mouth fully. It keeps you from biting down all the way. So that was just really weird. It was different. Leaving the appointment, They told me to just make sure I ate a good breakfast and good lunch, and make sure I take some Motrin or whatever I choose for pain, because they told me that by that evening I would probably be in a lot of pain. And leaving the appointment again, I was not in any pain. I just felt a lot of pressure, and it was very strange to not be able to bite down all the way, and it felt really weird. My lips, oh my gosh, I felt like I kept doing like this all the time, just trying to get my lips used to going over the braces. So that was a huge adjustment. I felt like I had a very pronounced lisp, and I don't know if that was from the hooks on the inside or from the bite stops. It could have been a combination of all of the things, I don't know, but that was the biggest adjustment at first, getting used to having these appliances in my mouth. And the pain did come later on that evening. I was not able to chew much. I think I ate some oatmeal and I had like a protein shake or something. It was very uncomfortable. When the pain started for me, it actually was a very strange feeling. I felt like my gums were tingling. It felt like my gums were like itchy and tingling, and it did that for about 30 minutes, and then I started to feel some pain. And honestly, the biggest adjustment for me at first was eating and flossing. It was extremely painful for me to floss my teeth, and I had to use a specific product to floss my teeth. And speaking of that, I am going to be doing a separate video about my must-have products for braces, both pain management and oral hygiene. So make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss that upload, because I'm going to be sharing some good products and tips that really help me to adjust. So after that initial appointment in January, I've had 5 adjustments since then, and they varied from 6 to 9 weeks. During my second appointment, I did get new wires placed. They were still round wires, but they were thicker and just applied a little bit more pressure. I still did not have a bracket placed on that tooth that sat back, but they did install a coil spring to create space in between my teeth so that tooth would have room when it came forward. Now I must say that coil spring was extremely painful. I would have to say that was the most painful thing I've experienced to date, having the braces. And I guess because the space was so narrow, it was a wide spring and they had to compress it so that naturally when the coil wanted to expand, that force would create pressure and open up space for the tooth to come forward. So them trying to pack that coil down into that small space was extremely painful. I felt the pressure of them trying to just squeeze that into that small space. So honestly, you guys, that was probably my most painful experience, which is shocking to me because I always heard that the power chains were extremely painful, which I'll get into that later. But that was more painful than the power chain. So for my second and third adjustments, not much changed. They did change out the top and bottom wires to a thicker wire, but they were still the round wires, and I had to continue to wear the zebra rubber band from the inside on the bottom to the outside up top to correct the crossbite. However, on my fourth adjustment in June, they switched my wire to a rectangular wire, which applied more force to my teeth, both up top and on the bottom. And they changed my wires from the zebra wires to the Impala, or Impala, however you like to pronounce it. And it was no longer from the inside on the bottom to the top. I had to wear them on both sides, from the upper canine to the rear molar. So that's what changed on that fourth adjustment. And they also finally placed a bracket on that back tooth that sat back. because the coil spring actually began to create enough space to start bringing that tooth forward. So when they applied the bracket to that tooth, they used an elastic tie to tie the bracket from that tooth up to the wire to begin to apply pressure to bring that tooth forward. So my fifth and most recent adjustment, which was actually just this past week in September, involved me getting a new wire up top. They did not change out the wire on the bottom. They used the same wire on the bottom. And they also told me that I no longer needed to wear rubber bands on both sides. The right side had been corrected, but my left side, the bite is still off. So I'm still wearing the Impala rubber band from the upper canine to the rear molar on that left hand side. That's the only thing that really changed was the upper wire. They told me that, I'm not sure if this is the correct terminology for it, I can't remember, but she did say that this is the final wire, or I think the finishing wire up top, because my teeth are pretty much in alignment on top. So not saying that I'm anywhere near done, but I guess they won't be changing out that specific wire anymore. I guess I'm going to keep that same type of wire throughout the rest of my journey, and eventually this wire on the bottom will change. As far as having any appliances to break, since I've been wearing my braces, I did grind my teeth a lot prior to having braces. So fortunately I have not had any bracket to break, but I have had to replace this bite stop on the right side twice, and I think it's just because when I'm sleeping and my mouth still wants to like grind my teeth. So the first time it broke, it actually broke in my sleep and it woke me up. So I had to get it replaced on the right side. The left side has not gone anywhere. So I still have the same left one from when I initially got my braces installed. The second time it broke on the right side was actually when I was eating. I can't remember what I was eating, but I think it was something kind of crunchy, and I shouldn't have been eating anything crunchy. But I had that break. I had the elastic tie that's bringing this tooth on the bottom forward. I had that pop in between the fourth and fifth adjustment, that elastic pop. But that's the only thing. I haven't had any wires to bend or break, or any of my brackets break, fingers crossed. The only other strange thing that I feel like I've had happen wearing the braces, my husband told me that in the beginning, he said I don't do it anymore, and I think it's again because I used to grind my teeth. He said that when I was asleep, my teeth would chatter. He would hear my teeth chattering, like, and he said it was going so fast, like a like in my sleep. And he said not the entire time, just, you know, randomly throughout the night. So that again, that was only during the first few months of me wearing braces. He said I don't do it anymore. So that's the only thing quirky that I feel like may have happened since wearing my braces. I hope nothing else strange happens. Oh, one other thing that I did get new on my most recent adjustment, you guys, I got a power chain up top. And when they told me, I did not know that I would have the power chain coming into this appointment. So when they told me that they were applying it, you guys, I was terrified because I had heard all these horror stories about the power chain and how painful it was. So I was so nervous, you guys, but surprisingly, it was not bad. And I don't know if maybe because all of my adjustments have been somewhat painful, and not anything excruciating, but I've had some pain after my adjustments. I've had to take pain medication. I've had to do warm salt rinses to kind of help alleviate the pain and discomfort. So I think my expectation for the pain with the power chains was so high that when it was not what I expected, I was like, oh, okay. This was the most comfortable adjustment I've had with the power chain. I don't know if there's different levels or strengths to it. So I don't know. Maybe the next one would be more painful. I don't know. And maybe everyone is different, but this was just not what I was expecting at all. I thought I was going to be in a tremendous amount of pain. I only had to take pain medicine that day. I took it with lunch after my appointment, and I took one that night just to kind of, there was soreness, but there was not any excruciating pain Your experience may be different. My next experience may be different. I don't know. I hope it's not any more painful than it was this time. Getting the coil spring placed was more painful than the power chain. Hey, I don't know. My next appointment is set, I think 5 or 6 weeks from now, in early October, which is the shortest time frame I've had. They varied, like I said earlier, anywhere from 6 to 9 weeks. With that being said, that's all I have for you guys. This has been my journey thus far, 8 months wearing braces. I'm so excited with the progress my teeth have made. I still have a long way to go, you guys, but I'm very pleased with how far my teeth have come. I cannot wait to see the final outcome, you guys. I'll be sharing my braces journey with you all. If you have any questions about my experience, make sure you leave them down below. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss an upload, you guys. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be posting a video talking about all of my must-have products for braces, for pain management and oral hygiene, because you guys, cleaning your teeth with braces is a whole nother ball game. I was not prepared. Make sure you stay tuned for that, and thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you come back. Bye.